Assalamu alaikum, welcome to CEO Club Pakistan. This is Nausheen Tai. I am really pleased to introduce my guest Syed Amir Ali, the CEO of Bank Islami. Assalamu sir.
Walaikum Assalam.
First of all, thanks for being here with us today.
Most
Sir,
welcome.
let's start with your journey, professional journey. How you take off and the challenges, how you take them and make them your strength during the journey.
Uh, just a quick one about the journey, how I landed into banking. Actually, I never decided or thought about doing banking in my career, and I started off in a manufacturing organization in finance department. Then one day, then a thought came to my mind that let's explore what is Islamic banking, and then I started studying Islamic banking. Initially, I was not that clear, and then over a period of time, through some trainings and reading certain books, I realized that there's some good work these Islamic bankers and these Islamic banks are doing in Pakistan. So I just walked into Mizan Bank with my CV asking them if they do have a job for me, and luckily they did. So they hired me in 2006, and I joined them in their corporate banking department. It was a small bank then, a bank of 29, 30 odd branches, under 20 billion rupees in deposits. So that's how I ventured into banking. Before that, I was not in banking, I was manufacturing and then audit and assurance. When I ventured into banking, then I took it actually as a mission rather than as a job, because I said I have worked in Pakistan in multinational, I worked outside Pakistan in local and multinational organizations. So now let's do something which I do as a mission rather than as a job. So for me, Islamic banking is a mission. It's something which I actually live for, not really to work for an institution, but to work for my society. So that's my mission, which I share with lot many other people who are working for Islamic banking. And then the journey at Mizan Bank was very, very interesting. It was a very small bank, very, very small bank. Even I remember, even my family don't even used to remember the name of the bank, and my sister used to call it Mehran Bank rather than Mizan Bank. So and then this bank became the last year it was declared best bank of Pakistan, and for the year it was declared best bank, I was part of that team. So then there, because my mission has always been to promote Islamic banking, then there came a choice for Bank Islami, and the reason I moved to to Bank Islami was again Islamic banking, and I thought that maybe this Bank Islami is going through certain challenging times after the KSB merger. Maybe Allah wants Bank Islami to do something better, and Allah Ta'ala is looking for people who can do that, because Allah Ta'ala actually don't need any resource. We are just like a mean to an end. So we just are means, we are nothing, because Allah Ta'ala can choose anybody and put that person in, and even Allah Ta'ala even don't need a person to do something to happen. So I thought if Allah Ta'ala has chosen me, so I should not be saying no and continue to staying in my comfort zone, working for an organization which I'm part of for over a decade, and part of a team which actually built that organization. So I have all that recognition inside the organization as well, that Amir is a part of the original team. So I decided to took that challenge for Islamic banking, and Alhamdulillah, I think I'm with this bank now almost 6 months as CEO, and almost an year as somebody who is working for the bank, because I joined as a deputy CEO for initial 6 months. So I think things are working in right direction, and there are a lot many challenges, but the life is all about challenges. Every day you have to do something new. It should be a new day. So every day is a new day here, Alhamdulillah, and things are moving in right direction.
Bank Islam is now the leading Islamic bank in Pakistan. How it's playing a ethical banking practice in Pakistan, mission and philosophy, core values.
Okay, now what we are trying to do at Bank Islami is, and which is part of our mission statement and is also part of our vision. So what we are trying to do is to inculcate core values into our employees. So I have personally done pretty much a town hall meeting with where all the staff of the bank was present. So we have done five. We have to do 5 such sessions. 4 of them has already been done, where entire staff of Bank Islami was present. And my presentation primarily focused on core values of the bank, because I said if you the core values are actually core values of an organization only if the members of those organizations who are the staff lives those core values. So you have to live your core values. So our core values are very interesting. It's about Sharia compliance, it's about integrity, teamwork, humility, innovation, and customer focus. So we are trying to inculcate that, and as a result of that, what we are trying to do, we are trying to build an organization around our core values, an efficient and an effective organization where we tell our employees never missell to a customer. Always try to serve your customer in the best possible manner which fits with the customer needs, because only that will create a long-term relationship. So instead of creating a culture where you can push your employees to do anything to get business, we are trying to inculcate two very important core values. One is Sharia compliance, never ever compromise it, because that is something for which we exist as an organization. And the second one is customer focus, because I always tell them that if you don't have a customer, there is no organization. Because Islamic, I always ask them, do you know any bank in the world which does not have customer? So they say no, they don't have, they have never seen such an organization or a bank specifically which is into serving customers. So customer focus is very important. Understanding customer needs is very important, which is also part of our mission statement, understanding customer needs. And innovation. So innovation is again very important, because innovations help you to serve your customer in a more efficient and effective manner, and in a manner which is seamless for the customer and for the organization. So we launched this one touch banking.
Yes.
So this capability technologically was present with the bank, but it was not being offered in a manner. So through this technology, which is one touch banking, we have branded it as a product. A customer, even if he is not carrying his debit card or an ATM card or a checkbook, can enter into any Bank Islami branch or can visit any Bank Islami ATMs across Pakistan and do whatever banking transaction that customer wants to do, can do that, like cash withdrawals, pay order issuance, checkbook issuance. And plus, what we are trying to do is to offer services. Now we are trying to segment our customers, because we believe there are primarily two categories of customers. One are who are more into transactional banking, who wants to use the bank for doing their transaction, and there are customers who are saving oriented customer, who want to save money, who want to put their money into a bank for saving purpose and to get return to run their houses. Maybe these are widows, some pensioners, even other people who want to create their portfolio. So we have created products for both of them. So now what we have done for all our journal banking transactions, we have made all our services absolutely free. So there is no conditions attached to our free
Great.
services. So it's not about you have to maintain 10,000 rupees in balance, or this and that, or you have to maintain a current account or that type of saving account. So whatever type of account you maintain with Bank Islami, your checkbook, your pay orders, your online transfers, your interbank fund transfers to any bank in Pakistan are free. So which is very unique. No other bank right now is offering all these services free. So that's the need of the customer who wants to bank with an Islamic bank. So we said we should not be charging any cost of being Muslim to the people who want to do Islamic banking. Rather, we should be facilitating them more than any conventional bank is facilitating them, we give them convenience which is much more than any other conventional bank is giving to them. So we have a convenient banking services which is free of charge. So all services are free. And then on the other end, we have created some saving products. So we have two special saving products. One is Islami Mahana Munafa certificate for 1 year. Another one is for 3 years. The 1 year certificate pays a monthly profit and gives a expected return of 9.5%. And a 3 year one gives a expected return of 10.25%. And these two rates in all the commercial banks in Pakistan, be it Islamic commercial banks or conventional commercial banks, right now are the highest. So we are giving on one end the highest profit rates for people who are looking for placing their funds for a medium to long term investment products, and on the other end, customers who want to do Islamic banking transactions, we are giving them free services. So I think we are going more than what is ethically required from an Islamic bank, because giving everything free, giving top of the line rates, best in the market, this is what I think we can offer. Plus, as far as Sharia compliance is concerned, because when a customer walks into a Islamic bank, then he comes with a belief that whatever that bank is offering is Sharia compliant. So we have a very able Sharia board headed by Mufti Irshad Ajaz, who is not just a Sharia scholar but had also done masters and is doing his PhD in Islamic finance. From these, there are three departments which are here to ensure Sharia compliance and to structure Sharia compliance products. So all these departments are fully able to ensure that we whatever we offer is fully Sharia compliant, both in terms of the design of the product and then its operational implementation.
Sir, as you said, कि Sharia compliant is your core value, one of the main core value. So apart from Islamic banking, how do you see the idea of Sharia compliant investment or business as a whole?
Actually, Sharia compliance is actually a very simple thing, because if you take Islam, then Islam, even Allah said in Quran that we have made Islam easier for people to follow. So if it is a religion which is an easy religion, means it is giving you certain principles that what is not allowed. So generally everything is allowed in Islam other than that which is not allowed. So now, unfortunately, in our South Asian economy or society, we are trying to always find out things that whenever there is something new, we ask, is it Sharia compliant? To me, everything is Sharia compliant unless it is prohibited. That's what's the principle for Mamulat, the social part of Islam. The religious or the ibadat part of the Islam is very specific. If you have to offer prayer, you have to offer in a certain manner. If you have to fast, you have to fast in a certain manner. If you do Hajj, you have to do Hajj in a certain manner. So there is a positive list for ibadat. But for Mamulat, there is a negative list, what you cannot do. So the only thing which is not allowed as far as Islamic financing is concerned is interest. So other than interest, pretty much everything is allowed. Now, whatever everything that is, it's pretty much business or trading. But then there are ethical principles that you should not you should not weigh something less when you are selling. If you are selling, you should tell all the features of your product honestly rather than mis-selling. So the concept of mis-selling has always the concept of not allowing mis-selling has always been there in Islam. So the principles are very, very simple. If we want to do Islamic finance, I think Islamic finance is very simple. Islamic finance is not very different from conventional finance, other than the conventional finance generally involves the concept of interest. If the concept of interest is eliminated, then everything is fine. Like people who invest in shares, if the company is doing a halal business, a Sharia compliant business, you can invest in shares, you can invest in properties, you can invest in fixed income bonds. Now in Sharia we call them sukuk, but these are bonds which don't give you interest. You can buy property, you can rent it, you can run your car on a Careem service. So it's all about, this is all investing. And as soon as you invest in a manner which does not involve interest, it's pretty much Sharia compliant. So,
sir, what is leadership to you?
Okay, for me, leadership is about firstly having vision, because I always say that vision is your ability to see something beyond into the future. Future means many years into the future, not just 1 year, maybe 10 years or 20 years into future. So for a leader, the first thing is to have a vision. It's very important thing. Now the second thing which comes before we move ahead for implementing that, to make strategies to implement that vision, there comes an in-between point, which is now sharing your vision. So firstly you have a vision, then you share your vision with the people who are around you, so that it becomes a shared vision. Because if you don't share your vision and you start working on it, then a lot of people will be confused at where we actually want to end up, what we are actually willing to achieve in our lives. And third one is now making a smart action plans so that you achieve your vision. So this is also one piece where lot many people misses out that they have a vision, they share it, and then they don't implement it. So implementation to me is an extremely important part of leadership, that you have the capacity to devise strategies and to devise smart action plans, and then to track them and monitor them, that your vision is actually rolled out and is implemented and is achieved. Important. So having a vision, sharing that vision, making strategies which are smart, and then implementing them, and then very importantly leading from the front. You should always be on the front to implement whatever you are talking. So walk the talk.
Okay. And what are the key challenges do you think a CEO or a business leader confronting in Pakistan?
I think challenges for anybody across the globe are pretty much same. So if you operate in one economy, then as compared to another economy, say for so Pakistan is an economy which is developing, but every developing economy poses some challenges, but side by side the number of opportunities are phenomenal in that type of economy, because everything has to grow. So like if China grew during 20 years at a double-digit growth rate, it was only possible because it was a developing economy. As soon as it became a developed economy, the growth rate decelerated. The number of opportunities or the number of sectors where you can do new things were basically, you can say, the opportunities became limited as a result of that, or there was saturation. So Pakistan is an economy which gives you lot many opportunities to do different things. Then you can also innovate a lot of things, because a lot of things are not happening in Pakistan still, whether it's the banking arena, whether it's agriculture, it's manufacturing, it's service sector. So you can go out, look for things in developed economies, and then you can innovate, just basically adjust them according to your local environment and bring them back to Pakistan. So I think there are limited challenges and more opportunities, frankly, I would say. Luckily, I think we have a growing population, we have a young population, we have a lot of capacity to export our skilled human resources outside Pakistan. Then it's a country which has the largest irrigation network in the world. So it is probably the second or third largest milk producer in the world. So there are very interesting things about this country.
And how do you see the current situation of Pakistan for the economy?
I think as far as the current situation is concerned, I just mentioned that to me, in the current situation, the only challenge which Pakistan economy is facing is actually a current account deficit. Now, had there been no current account deficit for any reason whatsoever, I think the economy would have been booming. My perception is, and based on my experience, I feel as soon as we plug this issue, which will be plugged soon hopefully, then the sentiment will change. And as soon as the sentiment will change, the economy will be back on track and start to grow. So probably we have 1 or 2 challenging years ahead, which are much needed, and then things will start moving up, inshallah.
Inshallah. Do you believe in women empowerment?
Now, it's a very generic statement. I think I always believe in that if any society, like in Pakistan, it's slightly different, but if you take any country, women form 50% of the population. Even women form more than 50% of the world population. So if somebody is thinking that if we have to grow Pakistan, say take an example, or grow any other country in the world, and women are not playing an equal role in the society and the economy, and that economy or society will grow, I think I actually doubt it. So if your 50% of your workforce is not part of the mainstream economy, then it will be very difficult for that country to grow. The first role, which is very important in Pakistan, is the role of a father and a mother. So if a father is not allowing his daughters, or is not motivating his daughters to become part of the mainstream economy and society, then I think he has done half damage to the society already. Unless we put in the real effort, will not change things. So I am a full believer of that, and I always believe that girls should also be very open to play an equally important part of society. Should after acquiring professional education, they should not be sitting at home. So this is very, very important for girls and for fathers and for husbands.
Any achievement you are proud of?
I think there are over a period of life cycle which I have spent to date, there are many achievements. So at different point in time, I was proud for doing different things. Like when I did my CA, and I was gold medalist in my CA in foundation and professional 1 and professional 2. So in 2001, I think that was something which was very big for me. And then when I joined my first organization, Pakistan Refinery, then again I took up a department which was then regarded as the worst department. And then 3 years time, the MD in an open town hall said that finance is the best department of the company. So that was again a proud moment. So that happened in 2005. So there was an event in 2001, then in 2005, then 2006 was also very important for me because I joined Islamic banking. And then I grew very fast in Islamic banking, and I still remember when I became the head of department, as the head of investment banking in EVP, in just 1.5 years into Islamic banking. So that was again a proud moment. Every time you should shukr, and then also strive for doing best, because Allah is also, like there is a hadith that मोमिन का आने वाला दिन जो है उसके गुजरे हुए दिन से बेहतर होना चाहिए. तो हर दिन आपने बेहतर बनाना है, but for every day you have to say shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well.
No doubt. Toughest decision you have ever made, and what did you learn from it?
I made was doing chartered accountancy, because that was something which was not known in my family, and my father wanted me to become a doctor.
Okay.
And eventually he accomplished his wish by having my wife who is a doctor. So finally he said, I will have you married to a girl who is a doctor. So that was, I think, the first pretty much. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he himself actually. So it was an arranged marriage. So he chose my wife. I didn't. So, but that was pretty much my first decision, that I decided not to do engineering, not to join armed forces or to do medicine, but to do something very different, which no one in my family has done before that, which was doing chartered accountancy. And then doing it straight within the time period which is allocated, doing it with gold medals. So I think the decision, which apparently initially my father was not sold on, and he thought that it's not a good decision. And the other big decision which I took it in 2006. When I left Pakistan Refinery, where I was working as a financial controller, and joined Mizan Bank, which was a very small bank. So again, that was a time when my father was of view, and many of my friends who were chartered accountants, they said, you have done a biggest mistake of your life, and you will be repenting on it. But I was very clear that I have to take the decision, because I have a vision or a mission to work for Islamic banking. And now that decision has proved, I think, very correct actually. If I'm sitting in after 12 years, I took that decision in 2006. And in April 2018, right, exactly almost 12 years after moving into Islamic banking, I became CEO of a reasonable or a decent size Islamic bank, a growing Islamic bank. So that was a very right decision from a professional career angle, which at that point in time, my colleagues were of the view that you have actually done a suicide professionally by joining a very small Islamic bank, because Islamic banking will not exist in Pakistan in the next few years. And Mizan Bank is so small that it will never become a big bank. So the Mizan Bank became a very big bank. Islamic banking grew to a 14.5% of total banking industry, and many Islamic banks came to the market, and I also become president and CEO in the next 12 years. So that was my second decision. And the third decision is joining Bank Islami. So I am very hopeful that inshallah.
It's also very tough.
Yeah, it's a tough decision, definitely. Like if you are working for a very large bank and you move to a relatively smaller size bank, although Bank Islami is the second largest Islamic bank. But Mizan is first, Bank Islami is second, but there is a difference between the two organizations. Mizan is reasonably big than Bank Islami. So it's again a challenging decision, but the results will
But you
come,
follow
inshallah.
your vision.
It's actually part of my mission and my life. So for me, working for Islamic banking is my life. So this is what I'm doing. I'm living my life.
Your idea of happiness.
Idea of happiness is to enjoy every day. Actually, firstly, idea of happiness is to share happiness. That anybody and everybody around you should take pride in having a relationship with you. That he has a relationship with a person who is very nice, who is very helpful, who is always look at the positive side of the things. So if all the people around you are happy, then you are also happy. So happiness is about sharing happiness, and then giving due rights to each single relationship which you have. Like you should give due rights to your wife, to your daughters and sons, to your parents, to your sisters, and it should be about giving, not about taking. So if you feel that if you enjoy giving things to people, then you feel happy yourself because it's your personality that you feel happiness. You get happiness by giving, and when you give things to other, then these people naturally feel happy. So if you become a person who is always giving and sharing happiness and sharing even worldly things like giving gifts, helping others both in terms of financial and social resources and matters, then if you feel that this is something which gives me happiness and gives other happiness, so you create a happy society. So for me, happiness is about giving, and I always enjoy giving people rather than taking people.
Okay.
Taking gifts or taking something from people.
In the end, I would like to take your message of optimism for the youth.
Okay. So optimism, I think the word optimism in itself is quite comprehensive. So the first thing is you always have to look for the positive side of the thing, like half full, half empty kind of a thing about a glass. So you always find about good things about opportunities, events, people, and firstly one has to start with people. As soon as you meet a person, you should always try to find out the good qualities of that person rather than the weaknesses of that person. If you always focus on the good qualities or the good traits of the other person, then you will naturally become an optimistic person because you generate positive energy towards that person, and then you get into a better relationship with that person. Maybe that person is your colleague, your wife, your friend. So optimism is about looking for positive things in people you meet first. It will create a lot more optimism than just thinking about that something good will happen. Optimism is not actually, it's actually a very practical and pragmatic terminology. It's not about dreaming. So some people think that optimism is dreaming, that even if I don't study, I will secure a first position. No, that's not optimism. That's dreaming. Optimism is that whenever you see something which is maybe a worldly thing, maybe a person, maybe an opportunity, you think positively that if I put in hard work, if I deliver in my best, I will get a better result. So as Allah said in Quran कि इंसान को वही मिलता है जिसके लिए उसने कोशिश की. If Allah has promised to इंसान कि जो आप कोशिश करोगे वो मिलेगा, तो फिर मिलना है. This is optimism. कि आप ये बिलीव रखें कि मैं कोशिश करूंगा तो मुझे मिल जाएगा. अब वो खुशी भी हो सकती है, वो पैसे भी हो सकते हैं, वो शोहरत भी हो सकती है और वो सक्सेस भी हो सकती है. So this is to me is optimism.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.